Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This reports for the 6th of April. And, well, we made new highs and pushed a little further, as you can see. Cyan has been under red right here, but now we're seeing a big spike of it. But that's been a straight up line of DOC red. And we see also short-term buyers fading a little bit. So still looks everything in order. Just we might see a little bit of softness here with midterm buyers. Of course, that was a big push. We talked about this on Friday before, that starting into the new week, you would have all that new fund money coming in. That usually happens around the 4th of every month, and they applied it. And you can see we got very close to positive extremes there, not happening at this particular stage, but presents some warning signs, particularly now as the NASDAQ gets back to its ABM gold reading right there, which happens to be 13,603, just ahead of where we were. I think the high actually eclipsed that at 22. It did on the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ getting closer to its 100% marker there, where the ES has already taken it, or the S&P if you want, has moved past it. From a gold standpoint, it sort of got flat after that really strong dip setup, but that's because it's been coming off some pretty extraordinarily weak shakeout readings here. Not a shock. It's still going to take quite a bit more for the green's going to have to pass over cyan, and you're going to have to see. You are getting the red breaking into the new zone above the negative 13.5, so that may be enough to give it a little bit of impetus, but it's really going to have to work pretty hard to get itself going. We got almost identical reading here with the euro. Within its setup, still below its 23% right there. Did come out pretty strong off of the bottoms there, but we could see that revisited. So let's turn to 5K. Now this is an adjustment of the PNT Pink 2A version, and where you see like the dotted lines is where previous magenta candles would have been. So going back from Friday, from the buy signal all the way back there, we just were in a non-stop continuous run until mid to later in the day. I'm going to expand this since we don't need to be that close. And really what I've talked about before is the red being over the blue-green. What I've done here with this gold line that you see running across is added a little more variables into the algo for the red, and it gives it a little bit softer. So until that dips below, you wouldn't get a magenta reading. That doesn't take place till right over here, which corresponded to light magenta cell candle anyway. But right in line with what was the peak, because as we came across, and what we'll also see coming forward is you won't get the dips below cyan, where you get like 1 or 2 bars where it'll pop in, and that generally creates a buy up near the 100%. That's only going to happen if you have gold over the green MBI, and so that will further reduce. And what you see with these little red dots is an additional factoring that would show where shorts would take place under some of the work that I'm currently working on right now. And you can see that where we are right now, what I would call a very weak long, because as you can see, this gold line stays consistently under the green and blue, and as that rolls over, if crosses back down and below it, that would lead to a new low. What you would need to see is the gold cross above the blue and the green here, and that would give you a maintaining move going forward. You have to ignore the current dot because the bar is still in progress, but that's easy enough to change on language too. I was just doing this as a test move, but identifying very nicely all the correct locations. So very happy with that. You're always going to get some of these sub-configurations that don't produce a lot. What I was working with in creating the turnaround is that you don't get caught in any of them for an extended period. It's not like you're just saying, okay, I'm short, therefore I'm stuck being short until I get stopped out. No, it takes into account those variations so that that doesn't take place, which I think will be an ideal situation. So this has got some work to do in order to get itself back up above there. But I will actually be sending the update that I have so far that you see here today. So you'll have it if you want to use it in the current market. Just further adjust that. Also going to remove areas where we get a double signaling just so that it stays consistent with the red. You only get one because sometimes additional short setups will develop within there, and I was just trying to identify where they all were, which is the only reason they stayed exposed. So that's okay. It was just still gives you a clear idea, and we're seeing just some really clean transition points. The way this paint is operating. And looks very nice. So I'm happy with the way that is. As always, though, I will continue to update you with some of the setups and alterations. But for now, looking good. As always, though, trade well. We'll talk again on the Sketch Chat.